All right, I'm in here because Cindy, are you in here? You're in here. Good. So you see how you went into a group? And so you guys are all going to work on question your group 3, right? So group question number 3. Does that make sense? No, everybody's muted.
Okay, so
Number
it was
2.
2.
Oh, okay, 2. Sorry, 2. I thought you were group 3. Sorry. So you're group 2. So you're going to work on question 2. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Case study is really short, but there's a lot in the case study. Okay. So I want you guys to think about what you've read for this week and what you knew for last week and that kind of thing, and try to apply some of that knowledge. Okay. I have to just look at your question real quick so that I know what you guys are working on. Oh, yes, you're doing great. You're doing primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention with this group. Okay, so this is going to be a great example for how we can apply that. Okay, I want to remind you of something. They are diabetic. Okay, so when you're thinking about that, what are you going to do about the diabetes? What level of prevention are you going to work on?
3.
Right, tertiary. But
Yeah.
there's just because they're diabetic doesn't mean that they're not healthy in other ways. What are some things we could do to educate them about?
You wanted to prevent like kidney problems, liver problems,
Yeah,
all the
but so
medication for
that would
diabetics
be
will cost.
complications, right? But you're not going to teach them on that because they're already on it. So that would be our treatment when we're like going through meds and stuff like that. What can we teach to a group of people that have a chronic illness? Something that would be
It's gonna
primary.
mail them how to eat.
Diet modifications.
Well, that'd be treating because they're diabetic. So they got to watch their diet anyway. What's something we could educate anyone on?
I don't know, safety.
What kind of safety?
I don't know, washing their hands, going.
Very good. Excellent. Washing their hands has nothing to do with diabetes, right? So that's something you could do with primary prevention. What kind of screenings could we do on these people? They have diabetes, so we're not going to do hemoglobin A1Cs because that's treating them and they already have it. What kind of screenings could we do on them?
You want to have I know you want to check the heart.
No, because that's you're saying check the heart because they're diabetic,
Well, yeah, I'm basically
right? You're screening them. You're screening them for something else. What could you screen them for?
cholesterol.
Diabetics tend to have high cholesterol, but you could. What else
Just
could
the
we screen
usual
anybody for?
maintenance things. The usual maintenance things.
Exactly.
Mammograms,
Yeah, great.
PSAs,
Right.
colonoscopies.
Mammograms have nothing to do with diabetes, right?
Right.
Very good. Excellent. So you guys are on the right path. Do you see where we're going with this? So you really want to think outside the box with this group. If you want some help, I will tell you in your textbook, there is primary, secondary, tertiary prevention in chapter 1 and I mean all throughout the book. So you can pick any chapter, but that'll give you some things that you could do. If you get really stuck on like, what could I educate on? Or what could I what could I screen them for? If you get stuck, then you always have those examples, okay? Does that make sense?
I actually have a question because I'm not understanding this week 1 and 2 class activity. So when you say that we do 2 is like the 2 groups, the groups that have number 2 or number 3, that's what you mean?
Yeah, we'll go over it. The groups. That's only for your group projects, right? For your discussion board next week. You guys have a discussion next week that you guys are going to be writing about Healthy People 2030, and it's a group project. I'll talk about it, Paola. If you're confused, then I'm guessing other people are. So don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So what happens is you guys have 2 separate group projects that you will be doing with the group that was assigned in the email that I sent out, right? They're all color-coded and number-coded. So I put emails on there. You guys are going to be able to email each other to communicate. Okay? But we'll go over it a little further. Don't worry.
Oh, no,
I'll go over the
but
whole
I'm
assignment.
talking about the one that you just said out, the one that says that they're diabetic and all that. Do you say before you break us the rules, you say that we were going to be working? I'm sorry, this is just off it.
No, you're fine.
But you said that we were going to be working only in number 2. I mean, if I'm in room 1, I'm working on 1. If I'm in room 2,
Yep.
So,
So the only question
you're
you're
going to be working in African Americans and Filipino males.
Well, you can work on whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just a case study, so you can apply it to everybody, or you can just pick a few groups. It's totally up to you. The only question you guys are answering is review primary, secondary, and tertiary prevention. How would this apply? That's the only question you're working on. So you don't have to pick people, nothing. The whole case study, it's a group of people. And this is what, and when we look at this, I want you to remember that we're going to take and pay attention to cultural competency here, right? Because different cultures bring different stuff to a community and to an illness, right? And we know that. We learn that in every nursing class. So this helps us with our cultural competency also, which was a chapter that you guys had. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Hi there. What's up? Somebody asked for help.
So we didn't know if, so our question was,
what are risk factors
concern you as a community nurse? So is it risk factors of the diabetes, or is it the risk factors of the different ethnicities?
Both. It's very good you asked, because it's both. There's risk factors going on here. Look at their age. These are young people, right? So when we look at that, we're going to think to ourselves, what are some risk factors of their culture that may contribute to the abundance of diabetes? What are some things with their age that may contribute? We work on cultural competency in all our nursing classes, right? You guys have learned about certain cultures and what they prefer and how they treat medicine, or how they don't take medicine, or how they, those kind of things. Those are the kind of risk factors that we're talking about here.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Are we, so there's like 6 questions on there.
No, you're just doing number 1. Just number 1.
Oh, okay, got it.
Just number 1. And the other groups are doing the other ones. Group 2 is doing primary and secondary. 3 is doing healthy people 23. So don't worry. So you only have 1 question.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Does that make a little more sense to you, Dina?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to leave you guys, and I'll see you in a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I guess the easiest way to call.
All righty, guys. You are doing Healthy People 2030.
Yes.
Nobody seems happy with this case study. I don't know why, but everybody's like, ah, they don't like it. But anyway, it's a great case study. It's helping us learn so much. You know that. All right. So it's what I hope one of you did was go on that website, right? Healthy People 2030, or all of you.
Yeah.
And if you go on there, there's tons of things on type 2 diabetes. What are some things that you found on there is like where I want you to go with this question. And what kind of things are we going to try to do? So one of the things that they talk about there is that the proportion of adults who don't know they have prediabetes, right? That's one of your Healthy People 2030 initiatives. And we have seen that this isn't being reduced. So what are some things we could do as a community nurse to help with those with that pre-diabetic phase? What's something we could do?
Definitely a lot of educating.
What are some risk factors that we know of for diabetes?
I would worry about their feet, like
diet.
you have to take care.
Weight management is a big thing. So if we show them where there's a lot of free produce stands out. So maybe we could tell them where the free produce markets are that's giving away the fruits and vegetables.
Yep, you're going to worry about obesity. They do have complications, which is, I think, what Alex and Chelsea, you guys are saying, like eyes and feet and stuff like that. But we want to think about before they're diabetic, what are some things we can do? We can certainly help with weight, right? We can certainly help with healthy eating. We can teach about soda. What do we teach about soda? No
Don't
good.
drink it.
Yeah, exactly. And we know that there was just an article out that I read today, and it was on some like news thingy, and it said that if you drink 1 to 2 glasses of juice a day, whether you're a kid or an adult, you're going to put weight on, which is fascinating to me because that's not that many calories, really. I mean, juice is sometimes 60 calories, 80 calories, but you're more likely. And I think the reasoning for it, they didn't say, but I think the reasoning is because if you're making unhealthy food choices, you're probably making unhealthy food choices, right? So juice is just an example. You know, we always think kids need orange juice or whatever. Kids get juice all the time. Well, they really don't. It doesn't do anything for them. Just gives them sugar. And then, you know, I really want you guys to be thinking about what kinds of things we could teach to the parents, you know, in our communities. What could we teach to our kids? What are some things that really would help them be healthier as a society for our kids? Related to diabetes, sort of.
Exercise, maybe go out and play for 30 minutes a day, put the tablets down.
Yep. Screen time is a big one. Exercise is a big one. You want to make sure that they have access to parks or sidewalks, because if you're in a certain area, maybe they don't have sidewalks, but maybe you could find places where there'd be sidewalks for these kids, right? So that they have somewhere safe to go. Maybe mom and dad don't have to go with them if it's close enough. Another thing that we looked at was our CDC does a prevention program for type 2 diabetes. That's on your Healthy People 2030. So take a look at that and see what do you think could be done there? And how could you use this information from the website and with discharge for these people? Remember, I want you to remember they're young. They're 23 to 35. Okay, these aren't older people. So what are some things we're going to do with our younger people? Okay. So, but you guys are on the right direction. I feel good about your group here. What do you think?
Good. For the second part of the question though, would it be okay to like utilize that site as a resource to give to the patient upon discharge?
Yeah, so give me something specific from the website you could give to them.
Okay.
So like on the website, there's like, you know, things for obesity or, you know, like if you just look up diabetes type 2, it'll show you certain things that you can use as resources. So,
okay.
You know, you don't have to print them. You could always say, you know, depending on your community, you could say, just go to this website. And if they don't have a computer, then you print it for them. Does that make sense?
Right. Yep.
Okay. All right, good. I'm going to the last group and then we'll come back together. How are we doing here?
I just got a few things typed up on the Jamboard.
Okay, and which question did you guys answer?
How would you proactively bring this concern and information, trends of DM in the community to be addressed?
Good. And what kind of things did you guys think about?
Like maybe free exercise classes like in the park, or cooking classes, or brochures that can be handed out to teach about diabetes and type 2 and what they can do, like lifestyle changes.
Okay, now remember this group of people is 23 to 35, so they're pretty young, right? So, you know, what kind of things could we give to them that's going to be really helpful to this group, to this age group?
We were
20-year-olds like.
Also about like making them more aware of the risk factors, like obesity and family history, because they might be, but if they have family history, they have more chances to develop diabetes than another person that does not have a family history. So make them more aware of the risk factors.
Good. And we're going to do, what kind of prevention are we going to do for these people? Our healthy community. What kinds of things can we do? We're going to educate them, but what will we do at a secondary level if they have a family history?
Probably offer screenings for the A1C to
We do A1C. We do a fasting, right? Just a fasting at a doctor's appointment. That'll tell you where they're at, or, you know. So those are the kind of things you think about. I want you to also think about culturally, because no one, because I only did 4 groups. One of the questions was about cultural competency. What did we notice in this case study?
There's kind of a wide range of different people.
Yeah, there's different cultures going on here, right? So I want you to bring your knowledge that you have, and a chapter in your book that was part of the reading was about cultural competency. And we're always working on it, right? We never know everything about every culture. But what do we know about African American females and males, health-wise?
Like, we know about the culture that they like fried foods and things like that. No.
Sometimes we know that there's a higher rate of heart disease. We know there's a higher rate of high blood pressure among this culture, right? We know that. And so these are some things that we want to think about when we're really evaluating, like, what kinds of things could we do proactively? Knowing in a community where you have, you know, Caucasian male and female, what are we higher at risk for? I'd be curious to know, and something I want you guys thinking about is, where do they fall financially? Is that going to impact them? It doesn't matter what culture you are. So you'll see that, and that's what they find. We see with a rise right now in Caucasian teenagers, homeless Caucasian teenagers who are pregnant. It's on the rise right now. So something to think about, right? And that's not maybe something that, you know, you guys have done a lot of study on, but you've done OB. I know you have. So think about what kind of things could we do for that culture, for that group, and that's Caucasian females. Pregnant people, what do we know about females and gestational diabetes, right? We know that there's some factors there that we watch for, right? And we teach them about, and we do screenings on them to see if they're gestational diabetics, right? We know that there's a relationship between gestational diabetes and type 2. We do know that. So think about that as well, okay? So you guys need like another 2 minutes? Good? 2 minutes? I mean, I know we could do this for days, but we're going to come back together as a class and go over it. I will help guide you guys if you feel like you're a little lost or you want some help. I can certainly help, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Checking. Oh, you're here by yourself.
Everybody left. I guess we were on the wrong group.
All right. Well, you were with Hannah and Cynthia.
Yeah, well, I was talking to Hannah and she like just left. So
okay, great.
I literally said, okay, do you want me to email everybody and see like how they want to do emails, and like if they want to do email, Zoom, or trade phone numbers? And I don't know.
Disappeared. All right, there's Hannah. And Hannah, I'm just double checking you guys are together. Yeah, Hannah's here with you. Okay, so Hannah and Alexi, you guys need to figure out what you're going to do. I don't know if you want to exchange phone numbers or emails or whatever you want to do. So where'd you guys go? So figure that out, okay? And then Alexi, stay on and I'll see you after, okay?
Okay.
This is group 4.
Yeah, you're group 4.
Okay.
Just checking in with you guys because I think everybody here should be here. Only one is Jessica. Yeah, you're here for. Oh, you're in the wrong room, Jessica. Hold on. Sorry.
Bye. Bye, Jessica.
Okay, leave this. I'm going to try to move you. Hold on. All right, get out of the breakout room and I'll go back to the main screen and add you to 4, okay? So sorry. Are you guys are all together, right? Dina?
Yeah.
Casey? Yeah, Tony, LaShonda. Yeah, you guys are all good. Okay.
2, right?
Yeah, you're 2, I think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2. Arwa's not there, though. Arwa's in with you.
Yeah, she had to go.
Okay.
That's
No
right.
worries.